A few months back, I started noticing a lot of comments and emails from you all, asking about the backgrounds and cultures that make up different states across America. Now, if you've been around this channel for a while, you know I tend to steer clear of making videos focused on race or ethnicity. It's not because I don't find the topic interesting, I do, but I've always wanted to keep the comments section positive and welcoming, without stirring up any negativity or heated debates. But many of you reached out with some really thoughtful points. You explained that understanding the demographics of a place isn't just about curiosity, it's practical. Maybe you're moving for work, looking for a place with certain cultural events, or just want to know what kind of food, music, or stores you might find nearby. It made sense to me, so I decided to give it a shot. A while ago, we took a look at the states with the largest Asian populations, and people seemed to appreciate the information. Then we did the same for Hispanic communities in the US. You all asked for more, and I thought, why not complete the circle? Today, we're diving into the states with the highest percentage of white residents, where that population has remained the majority for generations. We'll use data from the most recent US Census, and I'll also share a bit about which European groups originally settled in each location and how their influence still shows up today. Before we start the countdown, let's set the stage. The story of European settlement in America goes back several centuries. The English set up the first permanent colony in Jamestown, Virginia, in 1607. French explorers were busy mapping the Mississippi River and trading furs a few decades later, while the Dutch staked their claim in what would become New York. Over the centuries, waves of immigrants from Germany, Ireland, Scandinavia, Italy, and Eastern Europe followed, each group bringing their own customs, foods, and traditions. While the U.S. is increasingly diverse, some states have populations that are still largely shaped by their original settlers. So, let's jump in. Here are the top 10 states with the highest percentage of white residents, a look at their early history, and a taste of the local culture you'll find there today. Number 10, South Dakota. Let's kick things off in South Dakota. This state is known for its breathtaking landscapes, including the Badlands and Black Hills, but its population is also notable for its European roots. In the late 1800s, railroad companies promoted cheap land, drawing thousands of settlers from Germany and Norway. These families established farms and small towns that still dot the prairies today. South Dakota celebrates its heritage with events like German Fest and Scandinavian Days, where you'll find traditional foods, folk dances, and crafts. Even local bakeries reflect this history. You can still buy lefse, kuchen, and crumb cake at small-town shops. According to the latest census, about 87.7% of South Dakota's population identifies as white. Number 9, Minnesota. Moving east, Minnesota takes the next spot. Known as the Land of 10,000 Lakes, Minnesota has long been a magnet for outdoor lovers, but it's also famous for its Scandinavian heritage. Swedes, Norwegians, and Finns arrived in waves during the 1800s, drawn by logging, mining, and farming opportunities. They brought with them traditions like midsummer celebrations, sauna culture, and hearty foods such as lutefisk and Swedish meatballs. Minnesota's twin cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, are vibrant and modern, but if you head out to smaller towns, you'll find museums and festivals dedicated to these early settlers. Today, 88.6% of Minnesotans identify as white, and the state's northern European roots are still easy to spot. Number 8, North Dakota. North Dakota's rolling prairies and big skies were once home to huge herds of bison, and then, in the late 1800s, to waves of European farmers. The Homestead Act offered land to anyone willing to settle and work it, leading to a surge of German and Norwegian families. These roots are celebrated at events like the Norse Coastfest, the largest Scandinavian festival in North America. You can see the influence in local architecture, food, and even the names of towns. Today, North Dakota is 88.9% white, and you might find yourself enjoying a plate of Fleischkekel or a slice of kuchen if you visit. Number 7, Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a state with a deep agricultural tradition and a reputation for cheese, but its story is also shaped by immigration. In the 1800s, German and Polish families settled here, drawn by jobs in farming, brewing, and industry. Milwaukee, the state's largest city, is known for its breweries and its German architecture, while smaller towns celebrate Oktoberfest and Polish Fest every year. If you drive through Wisconsin, you'll pass dairy farms, historic churches, and neighborhoods where you can still hear polka music or buy paczki, Polish donuts, in local bakeries. Today, 89.4% of the state's residents identify as white. Number 6, Montana. Moving west, Montana is a state of dramatic landscapes, with towering mountains and open plains. During the gold rush of the 1860s, Irish, English, and German immigrants poured in, followed by ranching families from other parts of the country. Many of the towns that sprang up during these years still celebrate their pioneer roots with rodeos and folk festivals. Montana's population is about 89.7% white today. If you visit, you'll find plenty of old mining towns, cowboy poetry gatherings, and maybe even a cattle drive or two. Number 5, Kentucky. Kentucky's rolling hills have long been home to horse farms and bluegrass music, thanks in large part to the Scots-Irish settlers who arrived from Pennsylvania and Virginia in the 1700s. German and English families followed, drawn by the promise of land and a new start. Today, you can hear echoes of these roots in local music, crafts, and festivals. Every spring, the Kentucky Derby brings the world to Louisville, but smaller towns celebrate their heritage with bluegrass festivals and craft fairs. As of the latest data, 90.2% of Kentuckians identify as white. Number 4, Vermont. Vermont's Green Mountains and small towns are a haven for artists, hikers, and anyone who loves maple syrup. Early settlers were mostly English and French Canadians, with Irish and Scottish families arriving later. The state has a tradition of town meetings, local markets, and community festivals that reflect its strong sense of identity. In the fall, Vermont's landscapes explode with color, and you'll find apple cider and maple treats at roadside stands. With 93.6% of its population identifying as white, Vermont remains one of the most homogeneous states in the country. Number 3, West Virginia. Tucked into the Appalachian Mountains, West Virginia has a story shaped by rugged terrain and independent spirit. Scots-Irish and German pioneers were the first Europeans to settle here, drawn by the promise of land and the chance to build a new life in the mountains. Today, folk music, quilting, and woodworking are just a few ways these traditions live on. West Virginia's natural beauty draws hikers and campers, while its small towns celebrate mountain heritage with festivals and fairs. The state is currently 93.9% white. Number 2, New Hampshire. New Hampshire is another New England state with deep roots in English, Irish, and French Canadian immigration. Textile mills and farming kept families rooted here for generations, and many of the state's small towns have changed little over the years. Residents celebrate Maple Weekend in spring, enjoy apple picking in the fall, and gather for local parades that have been held for over a century. New Hampshire's population is 94.1% white. Number 1, Maine. And finally, Maine tops the list. The state's rocky coastline, dense forests, and historic lighthouses have attracted settlers since the 1600s, primarily from England and France. Maine's character is shaped by fishing villages, small farms, and tight-knit communities. You'll find lobster shacks, blueberry festivals, and town fairs that have been running for generations. Many of Maine's towns still reflect their colonial roots, and today, 94.6% of the state's population is white. Before we wrap up, a quick reminder, if you're thinking of moving to a new state, check out our other channel for daily history facts, and use the link below to connect with a real estate pro who can help you find the perfect fit. So, there you have it. The 10 states in America with the highest percentage of white residents, along with a bit of their history and culture. If you want us to explore another group, whether by culture, language, or religion, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's keep things positive and respectful. See you next time.